Okay. Good afternoon, guys. Thank you for coming. This is Math 4161/6161. The name of the course is Mathematical Reasoning. And we are going to go over today. We won't have a full class. I will kind of introduce you to the course. Where are the materials? And what I expect from you, what you can expect from me. I see 3 people here. I think we have about 8 or 9 people, if I'm not mistaken. Today, we're meeting at noon. If you want to meet at a different time slot where more people are available, I can be accommodating, but noon is my favorite slot, but you don't have to be biased. And I will post a note on Blazeview where it will say, if you have a different time slot preference, let me know. So I will stick to the 4161 page. And if Andrew, if you see any kind of conflict, just tell me, well, what would 6161 be like? As far as I know, I go back and put everything in both folders. Andrew's folder will have a little extra stuff, and Andrew and I talked about it. But other than that, I'm going to stick to 4161. So here is our 4161. If it is, it probably was actually Andrew's page. They're really identical. I want to make sure you understand that. This is supposed to be 4161. All right, guys. Again, this is the link we're going to use to meet. If I don't hear any complaints, I would like to be here from noon till 1. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I will delete the June 8th thing because it's not applicable anymore. Now, this link does say the meeting will take place on July 29. Ignore it. I made the slot available for me. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. It's convenient. I will use this section a lot. If I make an announcement, like if for some reason I'm not here, it probably won't happen. If it happens, I will make an announcement here. You won't have to click the link. You would know that we're not meeting today. Now, this is an online class, but I would like to make myself available. During this time, I will try to do some of the problems. Now, I know most of you, so the way I do this course, it's the name of the course is Mathematical Reasoning. So we're going to do a lot of problems, and the problems are already here. Okay, these problems are good problems for middle school, high school teachers. Our emphasis will be fractions and geometry. Why? Because those 2 areas are considered difficult for teachers. That's why. This set, the problem set folder, has some problems. I guess I should talk about the course outline. Well, I'm going to give you a little synopsis of the course outline. I won't go over the course outline. I'm going to open a document and tell you how we're going to implement the office hours, what can I do, and how can I write, how can you write on the screen so that we can communicate with each other. So I'm going to go over it, but let's be a little patient. So this document, this folder contains notes. Right now, I only have one set of notes, fractions basic. Most of you know these things, but that's going to be we don't have an official text. That's going to be our basis. So if we forget something, I'll go over a few basic ideas that I would emphasize because we will use them. But you can read it, and you should. Those of you who had me for 3190 or 3180, you have seen bits and pieces from here. So you guys should be ready, and I don't think Andrew will have trouble. In other words, nobody should have trouble. Again, if you don't understand a page or something, you want to go over it, you can always come here. Of course, I'll go over it. So that's that. So here we have problem sets. As of now, we only have 2 sets. These 2 sets are really identical. Okay. The second one has answers. Okay. If you print it, you're going to see answers below each problem. So I separated it. Some people don't like to see the answers while they're working on it, and that makes perfect sense. Now, this one is something we'll work on a little bit, just so that we can improve our language, how to talk about fractions, how to show things visually. This is really easy. We have a lot of middle school teachers in this class, so it's really more ideal for them. But even if you're a high school teacher, you can benefit from it because some of your students will need that extra little support. So we're going to work on it. The answers, let me open this document. I will access these documents from my hard drive, but they're here. They seem a little simple, and that's okay. And you're going to see I would like to believe the power of visuals. They really help. And there's a lot of research about doing things visually. So in this document, the answers are in the bottom, but you have access to them. That's why I don't have two documents. They're way in the bottom. The answers should be correct because I've used them many times. If you catch something that others didn't catch, email me and let me know. I hope that won't happen too often. So again, I might mute you guys. I haven't muted everybody. If you want to talk, you can anytime unmute yourself and talk. Okay, so there will be geometry problems. I will post here soon. I think it'll take us good 1 week or 2 weeks to finish the problems. I already have, you're not responsible for all these problems. There are a lot of them, but you can do them. Let me go over here again. This is going to be our main chunk before exam 1. I think I'll assign you about 20 problems from here, and you're going to hopefully learn how to reason and how to explain your thinking to someone else. That's kind of the idea. Okay, I can do it. My answer matches the answer in the back. I'm done. And that's okay for a student, but for a teacher, it's a little more. Can I explain it in multiple ways? And ideally, in this day and age, we also ask the question, can I explain this remotely? How well can I explain it remotely? So hopefully those things will surface. Again, it's a math class, but we'll also learn hopefully about learning. So those folders, notes folders, and the problem set folders are very, very important. Let's talk a little bit about the course outline, okay? Everything I'll tell you are already here, but I'm gonna go through a different document where I selected a few things that I wanna make sure I mention. And let's do that. So this is the name of the course, and I didn't put any time here. We're going to see what happens. I will post request here saying what is a good time slot for you guys. This is what I have available. If most people say 12 to 1, we'll stick to it. As I told you, I have a little flexibility here, and you're not required to come. Most of the notes or lectures will be uploaded. Okay, occasionally I forget, I don't record. All those things happen, but they don't happen too often. All right, so they will be uploaded. I will give you the links will appear right here. Okay, I will say something like recorded classes, and you will be able to access them anytime. All right. And I sometimes repeat myself, and I do it on purpose so that it's a form of emphasis, and sometimes people are distracted and you get to hear it. Hopefully, if it's that important, you get to hear it a second time. Now, my office is in Nevins Hall. I live in Valdosta, all those things. And okay, if you want to schedule an appointment with me, the best way to do it is go through this email address, which is available in the course outline. Don't email me on BlazeView. Okay, you can. I don't check this that often. I check it only when I come here. I won't come here every single day. So if you want to make an appointment, I would encourage you to email me here. How do you make an appointment? Of course, you can come to class and say, can I meet with you tomorrow at 3? I have to go over a couple of problems. If I'm available, I'll tell you, sure. And then I'll send you a special Zoom link. You will go to that Zoom link and we can work with each other. Not a problem. So we don't have official office hours, but we can, of course, I'm available. All right, this is a little thing. It's not a big thing. Now, if you want to make an appointment, make sure you have a good microphone. Ideally, you have a laptop, not just phone. It doesn't work. Okay, so you should be able to tell me what's going on. If you can't see something, you want to tell me, I can't see your screen, or can you do it again? So make sure you have access to a good machine so that we can communicate properly and it's not a waste of your time. All right, so that's my name. Again, don't use BlazeView. All right, we don't have a book. As I told you, I'll give you notes and problems, and we're going to solve problems. Most of the content will be early childhood, very little, mostly middle school, high school, a little bit college. Okay. Nature of class. The name of the course is mathematical reasoning. The idea is to reason mathematically. Okay. When I taught this class physically, I would have a lot of students go to the board and present. It will happen a little less because it's online class. Some of the people will be here, but whoever is here can always present. Okay, I would really encourage that. It's a way we can connect. We already feel isolated because you're going to listen to me later. Some of you will, and so it's a nice way to connect when you do things, when you come to class and all those things. Another thing I would say, most of you know, in science and math, memorization doesn't help. If you're going to stand in front of 20 students and talk, you better understand what you're talking about. So that should be the goal. I've taught college algebra courses where students memorize, and we don't care, unfortunately, at times, because it's so complicated. But here we want to make sure you genuinely understand what you're talking about. Now, the most of the course content will be available on BlazeView, and you've seen that bits and pieces. And of course, your view may look a little different. Now, two of the things that are very important are here. Okay, this will be pushed down. It's a class link. You have to look for it. I will occasionally, if it goes way down, I will move it up. And the second part that you really are interested in are these folders. Okay, the exams will be given through BlazeView, and this is important, guys. Okay, I will make the exams available for 1 day, 24-hour period. There are tons of issues with online exams. Okay, and people take the exam and they want to know how they did. So I'll open the exam. Once I open the exam for the whole class, I won't be able to give it to you. So you have to take the exams. I'll give you the dates right now. Actually, they're in the course outline. Let's go back and take a look at the course outline. So there will be 3 exams and a final. Okay, the exams are worth 20%, 20%, 20% plus 40% should add up to 100. And they will be available on these days. Okay, the final is on July 27th. Well, let me take a nicer tool. Excuse me. Okay, these dates, you really want to be aware of them. You want to be available. I will leave the exam open for a day. We get, just to let you know, so that you understand the logistics. Okay, sometimes students ask us to do a lot of things that are really unreasonable. For instance, the university gives us 2 days for the exam, so they want the grades. So I can't just delay it and say, no, the student didn't turn in. We have to turn in the grades, and the university doesn't want to listen. And I'm not complaining about the university, actually. I like the rules. It doesn't bother me at all. Okay, so these 3 exams, you really want to be available. Okay, again, I'll give you 24 hours because it's an online class. On June 22nd, you want to be available. I'm going to assume the class, a 3-hour class, gives us 1 hour and 25 minutes. Exams will be about 90 minutes long, and you will take it on BlazeView. You can handwrite, do whatever you want. I don't care. It's of course going to be open book, and you will enter the answers. I'll grade the answers. Yes, it's a little limited. I'm very aware of it. If you have a very good solution, communicate with me. Exam 2 on this day. Okay. And there is exam 3. I don't have to scroll. It's after the midterm and the final. Now, the midterm has no exam. Why did I put it here? This is the day before which you want to drop the course so that no grades. If you drop the course before July 5th, you won't get a W, something like that. It has something to do with getting a W or W showing up in your transcript. So 3 exams, each worth 20%, and the final. And let's go back here a little bit. Okay. I discussed that I'll give you 1 day to take the exam. Okay. Again, why? We just can't be totally, online exams have a lot of problem. I want you to feel comfortable. It should be your work. Pictures fly around. I've seen it all. You guys know it all. I don't want to give you guys bad ideas. And 1 day, an hour and a half, a particular day, make sure you have access to a good quality computer. I won't lock the screen. I just won't Why won't I lock it? I wish I could. Students complain, things didn't work out, it froze, and it's a lot of hassle. So I won't lock the screen, but try to be honest, try to learn. It's your class. I don't know what else to say. Okay. So any questions about the exams and the grading? Let's pause here a little bit. Any questions? I won't lock the screen. It's open book. It really should be your work, really. All right. And you can stop me anytime I have a question and mute yourself if you have already muted yourself. Occasionally I'll mute people because there's a little bit of background noise sometimes, but I'm not trying to be rude. You can always, you have every right to mute yourself and talk anytime. All right, I won't be able to give you makeup exams, guys, okay? Don't ask. Good news, there is, after all the bad news, there's a piece of good news. The final exam does replace your lowest exam score or the missed exam score. There are 3 exams. If you miss an exam, let's say you missed exam 1, you got a 0, don't worry. And you got 90% on the final, that will go there. What if you took all the exams and your lowest exam is a 75? That same 90% will replace your 75. So that's a piece of good news. Another piece of news that people aren't thrilled by is the cell phone things don't apply here, is that all exams are cumulative, and I will clearly tell you what we have studied before each exam right here. I will tell you a study guide. I'll give you a study guide right here and say study guide for exam 1. It will say something like exam 1 is on June 22nd or whenever it is. And this is what we need to study. I will tell you, go to the notes folder or go to the problem set. From this problem set, do 5, 6, 7, 8, and all those things. So that's the basic structure of the course. Again, I like to be available. I want you to connect. And, you know, we talk about you, just like you guys sometimes talk about us. We talk about our students. Sometimes students come and they're not there. Try to come if you can. If you can make it. Again, I can't require you to come because it is an online course. However, if you miss a class, do watch the videos. And if you have any questions, catch me somehow, either through office hours. I can reteach you the class at a different time slot. We just don't have that kind of time. I am flexible with this time slot. If noon to 1 is not the best for most people, I will move depending on what you guys want. I'm going to make an announcement saying, give me some time slots. This is when I'm available. I'll see who wants what, and I will give you my email address again. Here is my email page. This is where I want to see it. There's nothing private here. That's where you're going to email. Please don't email here. Please don't. I mean, you can email me here. I will respond to it, but it will take a long time. Okay. And I will specify it clearly when I do the survey. But other than that, it's a problem solving class. I'll be here. I want to be available for an hour and a half. Today, maybe for only an hour or so, but I can be around, not a problem. But from tomorrow, I'll be available for an hour and a half every day, 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Any question from you guys? I don't think let me share with you guys a couple of things, okay? So I will, a couple of things that we have handy are actually very good. I'm going to give you the link here, but don't worry about it yet. So if you want to share your screen with me, you always can. If I do something and you have a good idea, an alternate way of doing it, you can always say, well, I did it differently. Can I share? Okay. Some of you are familiar with Zoom. You can share your screen. Okay. If you share your screen, you can, of course, there's a whiteboard you can write, and there is I can't show you because I have my annotation tool on top. For some reason, it doesn't become visible to other students, but that's not a problem. You have to kind of fiddle with it. It allows you to do a lot of things. For instance, you can do let me go back. I don't see these things. They're a little distracting, but okay. Well, anyway, let me open a white document. That's good enough. So I am using just the annotation tool. You can do freehand writing, you can do rectangle, and of course, if you open a Word document, you can also type. Okay, so you can do that. You have access to the Word document, you have access to the Zoom annotation tool. One of the things I do not like about Zoom annotation tool is that once you erase it, everything is kind of gone. Of course, you can save it, take a picture. There's another tool that's very nice. It comes with your window. It's called Snipping Tool. Go to search and type in Snipping Tool. It's very nice. If you drew a geometric picture that's very complex and you want to save it, I'm just making things up here, you can do this. And you have to kind of get comfortable with it. So you can do it, and then you can copy, then you can put it on your Word document, you have it. And I can get rid of this top one, and you'll gradually become smoother and smoother. So don't worry too much. And now this is your picture, you can talk about it, it's on your Word document. So if you use your snipping tool, I have it in my bottom, it's pinned to the bottom. You don't have to, but it's a really nice tool. No matter what you do, you're gonna, if you use it, if you're comfortable using it, you're gonna appreciate it and you will thank yourself. So that's one tool. There's another tool I really like, and that's called, I will give you the link to this, and that's called Mathigon Polypad. It's free, and these are the things you can do. You have to sign in, but if you sign in, you can do a little more. So here, let me see what I can do here. All right, so this allows you to do a lot of things. You can say x squared minus 5. It's really like a blackboard. Solve this quadratic equation. If you want to erase something, you can just erase one character. It's almost better than the blackboard because your hand is not covering anything. Your body is not covering anything. Now, if you want to type something, you can do that too. You want to do something nicely. So play with this Mathigon Polypad. It's totally free. It's really nice. If you want to write something, it's not too technical, just to let you know, okay? You can do something like this. And since we are all teachers, I'm going to assume that, or many of us will be, you can do all sorts of things. I don't know how much I will use it. I learned this recently. So you can do all sorts of shapes. Really nice stuff. And I'll share some of those things with you guys, okay? And then nicely click. Let me share one more thing with you. Okay, I'll show you one thing. Okay, it's a very powerful tool. I was a little surprised. I'm not gonna go over, like, I won't teach you a lot about the software, but it's really designed for high school, middle school teachers. And most of you are very tech savvy. I think it's a fairly safe assumption. You will pick it up if you have a little bit of time, you're bored, play with it a little bit. I'll tell you what it does. And again, just for the record, I'm learning myself, and it really snaps. So basically, I have a hexagon surrounded by a bunch of squares. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to say fold net. Just look what it does. Look, it's a very good tool for high school, middle school teachers, especially if you're doing things remotely. Think about doing it in class with regular paper. Almost impossible. There are tons of good software that I'll share with you. Actually, at least 2 or 3 more, okay? Again, I won't just turn the whole class into a technology class, but of course, well, firstly, I'm learning Mathigon. I know Geometry Sketchpad, and there's another one a little better, but we can learn together, not a problem. So this is a very powerful software. I will write here. You can, when you share your screen, you can do the same. Again, do you have to make a 3D solid for me? Not really. If you want to write something, it's a very good tool. There's another software that's very nice, I like very much, and I use it a lot. It's called 3D Slash. And think about this. Think about this. If we were sitting in a class, I'm writing a paper on this, so that's why it's here. If we were sitting in a class, just think about building a structure like this with regular cubes. Practically impossible, because the cubes I have, they belong to the university. They wouldn't want me to destroy them permanently by gluing them together. So we can talk about what's the volume of this solid. Again, this is also a free software, 3D Slash, as you can see. If you sign up, I do pay. If you pay, things are a little better resolution, but if you sign up for the free option, it's really not that bad. So think about talking about this structure. In the real world, even if you had a lot of money, you're not going to sit here and build the structure with glue. And even if you do, when you hold it, half of them won't be able to see your solid. Yeah, you can give it to them, they'll drop, they'll break. So think about if these blue and pink cubes are unit cubes, think about finding the volume, finding the surface area. I have tons of solids. I have some really good problems. And some of you had me for 3180. Some of you have seen problems similar. Oh, you guys know this. I've used it with you. Sorry. I guess I'm talking to Andrew a little bit. So some of you are familiar with 3D Slash. Mia and Jersey are, I know that. But anyway, so you can use those things, share those things with me. A couple of other things before I wrap up and I'll let you ask me questions. It sounds like a glitch. This Zoom account that I have, I really like Zoom. It is free. So every half an hour, it will say that, hey, this session is going to shut down, and it will. If it shuts down, most of the time I do get a chance to tell my students, hey guys, let's meet, come back using the same link, rejoin, and that's what we're going to do. If it just shuts us down, if I don't properly say goodbye, I will always come back to the next session using the exact same link, which is right here. This will be our class link right here. We will have our recorded sessions. So that's the nature of the class. Let's pause here a little bit and let's see if you have any questions.
Everything's straightforward. It sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. If you don't have any questions, I will see you tomorrow at noon. I'm going to put a few things here. I'm going to give you the MathiPad link, and I'm going to ask people what's the best time slot for them. Okay. If you don't have any questions, feel free to leave. Thank you for coming. This session, the recorded session, will be uploaded and the link will be provided right here.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Absolutely. You too.